Dimebag, I did meet and hang out with a bunch of times back in the day, and just one of the nicest guys. I mean, really sweet guy. I have one specific memory of hanging out with him at the opening.
Some tours make history. Some tours make no sense. This one was chaos. Wrong rooms, wrong timing, and in the end, a guitar hero died on stage. This was Dimebag's last ride. And it ended in blood.
Damageplan was a passion project for both Darrell and Paul. Though their new band was nowhere near as successful as Pantera, they were glad to be out of the negative atmosphere they were formerly in with
Pantera was over. The wounds ran deep. So Dime and his brother Vinny, they started something new. Damageplan. Fresh band, fresh anger, fresh riffs. Newfound power hit shelves. It wasn't Pantera, but it felt like something. So they hit the road hard. Clubs, sheds, zero breaks. But something here was off. And it kept building.
In particular, is there anybody that's maybe dedicated to?
Man, it's kind of one of them deals where we wrote the tune where everybody's got somebody they want to light up. You know what I mean? And if anybody out there thinks it's particularly written towards them, they must be feeling guilty.
Probably is.
I bet it is. No, but everybody, I was talking to this cat doing an overseas interview, and I was like, hey, man, he was asking me the same thing. I said, how about you, man? You got anybody you want to wing the bird finger at? And he goes, oh, yes, millions.
Earlier that year, a fan stormed the stage. He tore up gear, screamed at the band. Same guy, Nathan Gale, and he'd come back later. Nobody pressed charges. Just another psycho fan. They shrugged it off. They had shows to play. Damageplan was grinding nonstop. One day off, then fly. Hotels, beer, riffs, pressure. Dime kept smiling. Barely, but he smiled. This tour made no sense. Big talent, small rooms, zero security, zero control, no money, just movement. You did feel the edge, like something would break. Nobody knew what, but then it did. On December 8th, 2004, Alrosa Villa, Alrosa Villa, Columbus, Ohio, tiny stage, 200 fans inside. Damageplan hits the stage, opens with breathing new life. Seconds in, here he is, Nathan Gale.
Last December, heavy metal band Damageplan took the stage at the Alrosa Villa. During their first set, more than 200 anxious fans packed the concert hall to hear the group and one of the country's most known guitarists, Dimebag Darrell Abbott, play. But just a few minutes into their first song, trouble broke out. You can see shooter Nathan Gale in a black jacket and baseball cap charging on a stage.
Jumps on stage, pulls a gun, shoots Dimebag point blank. Head, hand, face. Crowd thinks it's fake. It's not. It's murder. He fires again, kills 4 others. Killed a fan, a roadie, a bodyguard, a club worker. Then there's chaos, screams. nobody here understood what was going on.
You know, my heart went away with him when it happened, you know, and I lived in a bottle of vodka for 8 months, you know.
An officer enters through the back door. He sees Gail on stage, hostage in hand, in a chokehold. In one clean shot, Gail's dead. But it's too late. Dimebag's already gone.
I always tell this story, and it's probably the strongest one. In 1990, I think it was, when we were rehearsing for the Painkiller tour up in Canada. I was in my hotel in Toronto watching a show up there called Much Music. I'm not sure if it's still on. I turned in and I saw this guy in a British Steel shirt, you know, talking about metal and talking about his band Pantera. And just listening to him speak so wonderfully about his band, about metal, about the fans, I thought, this guy is just real. I can sense it right away. So I called up Much Music and I said, is that guy still there? And they go, yeah. I said, would you mind asking him to wait? Because I'll be there in 5 minutes. I just walk around the block. And we met for the first time and we hit it off instantly. And that night they were playing it a little.
Metal lost a legend. Live, on stage, in real time. Fans just stood in silence. Bandmates collapsed in grief. The tour obviously over. The music never the same. And people still ask, why didn't it stop sooner? But nothing made sense on this tour. Not the night. Not the no security. Not the fame in such small locations. Ever since that show, security changed forever. Now you'll see barriers, guards, crowd control. Every single band on Earth felt that bullet. This wasn't rock star excess. This was war. Dime's final note was a scream through feedback. But his spirit still alive in every single riff he wrote. Every single dive bomb squeal. Every big old Texas smile. Because we lost more than a guitarist. We lost joy that night. So let me know, were you there? Do you remember where you were when you heard the news? And what riff keeps him alive in your personal mind? Do me a favor, drop your tribute below. Just light it up for Dime.
What made me look at my lead playing a little differently was when Dimebag passed away. And not that I'm going to fill Dime's shoes, because nobody can do that, but I paid more attention to my leads and wanted to make them more memorable.
I'm Fred Carroll. This was your metal tour guide for Headbangers History on the Left Eye Lazy Media Network, where every riff tells a story.
Dimebag Darrell is known primarily for two things: his iconic metal band Pantera and his horrific premature death. Born in Texas in 1966 as Darrell Lance Abbott, the future guitar legend had music in his blood. His father, Jerry Abbott, was a country music producer and songwriter. Darrell began playing guitar when he was a teenager, and by 1981, he and his brother Vinnie Paul had created Pantera. They would eventually add bassist Rex Brown and singer Phil Anselmo to the mix. The band released a few albums in the 80s, but they didn't reach the mainstream until their breakout album, Cowboys from Hell, in 1990. They gained hordes of fans, thanks to their aggressive sound and powerful lyrics.
They talk about, being strong and inner strength, and to me, that's what real heavy metal should be about.
Cowboys from Hell made Pantera a household name, and their subsequent albums, Vulgar Display of Power and Far Beyond Driven, were released with